Okay, so if you've done some leg videos, let's think about the arm videos happening. Let's start to watch what happens in the shoulder girdle when we bring movement to it from a supine position. So for this pose, I'm going to ask you to have a blanket. With this blanket, let's create a Z fold. So what I mean by that is let's make it so that it is not going to go all the way across your back, but it's just gonna go back and forth like this so that it's like a big Z underneath your spine, and we're just gonna put that underneath the upper back. You could do it so that when you lie down, go to the bottom of your breastbone and trace it around to that bone on the back, and then put that bone right on the bottom of the blanket and bring the rest of the spine down on it. Play with it till it feels right. If your head feels too low here, just fold the top of the blanket and give your head a little bit extra pillow. You can decide how that feels. So now the shoulder blades aren't touching the floor, right? Because that Z fold goes right between the shoulder blades and they don't get to touch the floor at all. So just play with that till it's comfortable. Take your hands right up to the sky. Drop the shoulder blades down as if they were to hug the edges of that blanket. And then when the arms come to the sky, it's the shoulder blades lifting up and away from the blanket and the shoulder blades setting back down. Feel like the movement is being initiated from the back body. Sliding up, sliding down. So this movement, it isn't about the shoulders pulling up and then pulling the arm bones out of the shoulder socket. It's not about that at all. The arm bones stay settled into the shoulder sockets at all times and just go as far as it's all the movement is shoulder blades. They lift up off the floor, coming away from the spine, and they sink down towards the floor, towards the spine. Nice. Just making that movement as small as it needs to be. You can see that it's not big. Soften from that. Just take a couple breaths, rest. And then bring your arms back up again. This time you're thinking of the arms falling above your head towards the top of your room. Yeah, past your ears. So this is what you're watching for. You're watching that the movement is actually happening in this joint, in this shoulder socket, right? It's not happening at your bottom rib. It's not happening at your rib cage, your low back, or your spine. So you're watching for this tipping point. When you take the arms back, at what point does it feel like your chest lifts up, your spine arches, all of that stuff starts to happen in your rib cage, right? So settle the shoulders, slowly take those hands back. Watch for the first moment that you feel like the bottom front rib rises or the low back arches, and then bring those hands back again. Whatever range of motion you're in, if you're doing it right, the motion will be smooth and seamless. I don't doubt your ability to take your arms all the way back to the floor ahead of you. That's not at all what I'm trying to get you to find. I'm trying to get you to release the movement that you create in your arms from the whole fascial structure of your chest and ribs, so that your body recognizes that it can move arms independent of the whole rib cage having to go with it. It can create movement with a little bit more efficiency. It doesn't have to include the low ribs. And then soften those arms down. If you suffer from neck or shoulder pain, consider the idea that we need to let the right muscles work when we're doing our exercises, when we're doing movement. So that one isolates what we want to work from what we don't want to work. So play with that idea, and then when you move to playing and working with your legs, work with your legs and don't make the neck and shoulders help the legs. Lots of stuff to chew on there. Enjoy.